Thank you, Chair Graves, for holding this hearing to explore how competitive grant funds from the bipartisan infrastructure law are providing opportunities and delivering results. The law provides record-breaking funding for critical infrastructure projects. Over 5 years, the BIL invests $661 billion in roads, bridges, transit, buses, ferries, airports, ports, and rail. Congress provided 30% of this amount, about $196 billion, to be distributed through 72 competitive grant programs. Many of these grant programs were established in the BIL, and this investment level and volume of new initiatives far exceeds previous transportation bills. DOT has risen to the occasion to get this money into the hands of communities by issuing nearly 90 notices of funding opportunities, or NOFOs, in the 2 years since the enactment of the law. And this level of grant making is remarkable. Compared to formula funds, these grants provide new and expanded opportunities for local and tribal governments to pursue local priorities and receive grant awards directly. For example, the BIL Safe Streets and Roads for All program, for which states are not eligible to apply, is widely heralded as a model for assistance to local governments to improve safety. In the first 2 rounds of funding, over 1,000 local safety projects received grants, a huge boost to communities with needs that may not rise to the top of state DOT priorities. Congress also delivered an unprecedented 5 years of funding certainty for rail in the BIL, a level of commitment not seen since the creation of Amtrak over 50 years ago. The Federal Railroad Administration has awarded over 238 rail projects under BIL, including a $2 million grant to the city of Burlington in my district for railroad crossing elimination. FRA is working with communities to develop or enhance as well in 69 intercity passenger rail corridors nationwide. Yet, much of this BIL discretionary rail funding is subject to appropriation and therefore at the mercy of caps and cuts because rail does not have a dedicated revenue source. And the cuts to Amtrak in the proposed THUD bill, which stalled consideration in the bill last fall, demonstrated this committee will have to remain vigilant to protect investment in rail. Infrastructure investment means jobs. Ensuring that infrastructure projects ensuring that infrastructure benefits reach all communities requires a strong working relationship among federal, state, regional, and local government partners. My state of Washington has a robust process to distribute transportation dollars to all areas, including rural counties and communities in my district. WashDOT leads the process by partnering with local governments and passing through federal transportation dollars with a lot of input from state legislators, I might add as well. Distribution of transportation funding through the state legislature further supports the reach into the communities. As a result, we have seen success in addressing transportation needs in my district and other districts around the state. This collaboration further supports success in the competitive grant process. Local governments, including Whatcom and Skagit counties, and the tribes, such as Lummi Nation in my district, have successfully applied for and been awarded grants. So in all, Washington, in my district, it's received more than $120 million in competitive grants from the BIL, so it can happen. We're only 2 years through a 5-year bill, which means there's more to come. More projects, more jobs, more safety improvements, more pollution reduction, and more communities uplifted. Congress directed investments in the BIL to address climate change and reduce carbon pollution as well. We've directed these investments to improve safety and equity outcomes on our transportation network. And as we put more decision-making power into the hands of local communities who know their needs best. DOT's grant competitions reflect these directives from Congress. DOT's competitive grant considerations align with goals shared by those who voted for the BIL and are advancing cleaner, safer, and more equitable transportation. Now, beyond the benefits of individual projects, BIL resources are building local government capacity to deliver projects. Because in some respects, the local governments don't have that capacity to apply for these grants. So DOT is actively helping applicants new to the federal transportation grant process to navigate this competitive process. The Thriving Communities program supports disadvantaged and under-resourced communities to advance transportation projects. The program's capacity builder organizations work directly with local communities to build their technical knowledge. The first year of funding, $21 million, supported 64 communities, including 27 in rural areas. This program to build the bench of project sponsors will transform communities that have not previously accessed federal funds and will deliver jobs, mobility improvements, and economic benefits for years to come, especially in rural areas. So I welcome this opportunity to celebrate the benefits to each of our districts and constituents. Also, I welcome the opportunity to look at how we can make it better As a former county council member, I can assure you I understand the frustration that counties and cities have in accessing federal money, and sometimes they choose not to. So I fully understand that. But we are making progress in this particular version of the transportation funding through the BIL to try to address that technical capacity deficit so that, again, we can build a longer-term bench to increase the number of project sponsors for competitive grants. I will finally say that there is one area where state legislatures, state DOTs, local governments, city and county and tribal governments all agree there's never enough money from the federal government when it comes to transportation funding. So if we can all agree on that as we look forward to the 2026 when we have to do this all over again, we should keep that in mind as well as we're looking to improve the process. With that, I yield back.